Hey everyone, it's Alex and welcome to this video. We're going to be discussing the news that just dropped from IGN Live for Marvel Snap. Now there's some exciting stuff in here, some kind of confusing stuff, and some super disappointing stuff as well. So let's dive in. It's going to be a roller coaster of emotions as we take a look at the development roadmap here. We're right on the blog, and right off the top here, you can see things have kind of changed. We got coming soon, which is within the next month or two. We got Deadpool's Diner, improved technical performance, and custom card improvements. Okay, that's all good. In development, we got alliances, leagues, new card mechanics, collectible infinity splits, which is pretty damn neat. And in concept, we have a draft mode, card acquisition improvements, and alliances competitions. Now, what you'll notice right off the top that's missing, there's no mastery. Basically, what they said is like, listen, the card mastery stuff, they found that it was a technical challenge that perhaps they weren't ready to tackle at the moment. It was one of those concepts that was perhaps too large in scope, and as you can see down below, they wanted to do it, but just had some technical architectural issues that prevented them from actually executing on their plan. Now, it's super disappointing, because I think that the card mastery system they had described was probably amongst the most exciting things they had available. And especially since Marvel Snap is all about the heroes, and you kind of fall in love with specific cards, specific decks, specific archetypes, and so to kind of have that taken away feels super bad. But at the same time, we know that Marvel Snap and their Team Second Dinner, they're trying to make the best game they can, and if they could have delivered on it, I'm sure they would have. They're probably just as disappointed as we are. I mean, no, they're not. We're probably a little more disappointed. But ultimately, I can understand. I'm not a game dev, so I don't want to be judgmental over the idea of cutting a feature that was in concept or in development that just was never going to actually see the light of day the way they envisioned, okay? These types of things happen, I'm sure, in the industry all the time. So pour one out for mastery right off the top. This video is brought to you by 8th Era. 8th Era is a new mobile turn-based squad RPG that features a huge roster of unlockable heroes and strategic, engaging combat. Set 10,000 years in the future, players must journey through dangerous past worlds to collect history and take down the evil AI, Harmony, that now reigns supreme over the world. 8th Era is the first game to reward players with amazing real-world collectibles. Compete for the chance to win exclusive, limited edition coins that get delivered directly to your door that feature characters from the game. Download 8th Era on iOS and on Android in Canada by using the link in the description down below. Also consider signing up for their newsletter so you can be kept up to date for the worldwide release. Alright, as we move into the coming soon section, we've got some updates for things that'll be coming within the next month or two. And right off the top, we have improved technical performance, which is great. We even had a patch just this past week, which is supposed to improve some technical performance issues with Snap. Snap is actually a really slow working game. It could use a lot of improvements and streamline with regards to how it runs. So I'm glad they're taking that seriously. Custom card improvements, and of course, Deadpool's Diner. Now, I do have a graphic I'll show you in a second, but let's actually kind of look through this. I'll give you a chance to read it, and I'll link to the blog post down below as well. Basically, Deadpool's Diner is going to be a new mode you can engage with to unlock some new rewards. Now, I like this idea, but it does kind of sound a little bit like Conquest to some degree, except you're kind of betting on individual tables or, kind of tiers to get to the rewards that you eventually want to get to, right? And the way they describe it here is that you bet Deadpool's BUBs before you play. You start at table 1, and you kind of win some BUBs in your first match, and then what you do is you earn enough BUBs to go to table 2, 3, 4, and so on, and as the tables increase, so do the risk. Because you're betting the BUBs, if you lose, I'm sure you lose the BUBs, and then you might kind of drop down a little bit. Hopefully it's like a net kind of gain thing where you don't have to have an 80% win rate, or it can't be like Infinity Conquest, which is super stressful. I hope. Hopefully that it's a little better than that. Now we are going to cut to a bit of a different screen here. Yeah, we got a different screen a little bit. I'm actually going to cut myself out of it for a second. It's a little easier for you guys to see it. But basically with the BUBs, they got a little kind of descriptor here on the right. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to use the BUBs. Can I actually zoom in here? Let me see. I'm going to zoom in. We're recording this live, friends. You can use the BUBs at individual tables. You get to play for the plates. And then what you do is you basically have them double on turns 4, and 5. Okay, which is pretty interesting. So it looks like it's going to be not like Conquest in the sense that you're constantly playing someone over and over again, but instead at individual turns the amount of BUBs kind of increase. So it might be a much more approachable version of Conquest, which I think is a good thing. And then as you can see here, we got different types of rewards. You got the cereal table, the chimichangas, and then finally the final reward, which is going to be Cassandra Nova, which is currently, I believe, the last card to be released in the new month. So I'll throw myself back on the screen here. But anyways, the whole idea seems pretty interesting. It looks like it's going to be more of an event type thing. It looks like they're taking the standard gameplay of Marvel Snap and they're trying to incorporate it into the kind of conquest mode type tiered system. Okay, so that seems pretty interesting in and of itself. Now, in development, they are discussing alliances. They have alliances, leagues, new card mechanics, and collectible infinity splits. Now, here is a graphic. We actually open a new tab. Let's open a new tab. You have a team that you join on an alliance. You got all these bounties. You got to do certain things, win matches with a snap, and I guess this is you contributing to the rewards of your alliance. And then there's gonna be a whole bunch of things like, you know, collect 2 different cards and different ways, I guess you can kind of, are these, play 4 cards? Oh, I see, you're collecting points. When you grab them, are you getting that reward? I'm not sure how that works. That's kind of confusing at first glance here. But anyways, it is pretty new, cool here. I like the idea of having some player interaction here. It is going to track the manner at which you kind of, you know, how many bounties you produce and how many points you produce for your guild or your alliance, I should say. It looks like there's going to be some you know, win 5 matches with Wolverine. I'm assuming is this active bounty for just you or for the entire thing? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. That's kind of unclear. And we're going to have an alliance chat, which I know something is people were really interested in as well. So a chat feature in Marvel Snap. Was not actually expecting that, but here we are. And I'm back. But I just want to be able to zoom in on that image so you had an idea of what was going on, right? But anyways, I know that this feature has been something that has caused a bit of, like, you know, stress for some people. People are like, I don't want the social features. And other people are like really clamoring for it. I just hope that it's one of those things that they're able to make it so that even people that want to just quietly do their thing, engage with it, but at the same time, you know, would like to kind of be lone wolves, would hopefully be able to get these rewards and have a positive experience. Because I think it needs to cater to everyone's personality, and I think a lot of people don't want to be in the spotlight or be forced to be performing in a certain manner because they're letting their team down or alliance down or whatever, right? So hopefully it's a very positive experience for everybody, because I do think that social anxiety is a very real thing, and I think that people need to be cognizant of that. Leagues, we got a lot of feedback on leagues. Obviously, they decided that they were going to change the leagues to like a premium league and a standard league. I don't have much faith in this. This is obviously a better solution than they had before, but I still don't think this is great. Kind of concerned with how this is kind of working out with regards to, like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be worth it. I hope they kind of amp up the rewards and make it so that it's actually worth your time. I'm a little pessimistic on the value of leagues, but we know what it is because we've discussed it at large. And new card mechanic, apparently we got to keep our eyes out for. Is that like a new type of text, like an on-reveal, ongoing? You know, who knows, right? I'm sure Glenn has a ton of ideas coming from his Magic kind of background. So they don't have it listed here. Maybe, you know, it will be soon. Then we go to the in-concept side. Now, they're working on a draft mode. Now, this stuff can change wildly into the future. We got a draft mode. This is the only thing they're actually speaking of here. They don't actually kind of mention anything else. Draft mode is what they're probably looking to do for an entire new game mode. It seems like the Deadpool BUB thing is going to kind of try to tide the new game mode thing for a while. That seems more like an event for me. Like, I don't think it's like a whole new game mode. Draft mode is what I've been looking forward to. This is a little unfortunate that it seems like it's actually further out. I don't think the BUBs thing is what people expected to be announced today. I think people wanted the draft mode available this month or next month, right? It seems like their development is a little behind expectation, which is a little unfortunate. But again, game development's hard. I don't want to be judgmental from that standpoint. But I do stand a little disappointed to hear that, like, we're getting the BUB thing, which is cool, but I wanted this. I wanted the draft mode, like, sooner than later, not in concept, which could be next year for all I know, or December for all I know, or whatever. This needed to come in the summer. And I think that that is a little unfortunate from that standpoint. But I'm sure whatever they do, they're going to do it, and it's going to be a very strong mode. And obviously, they're going to be doing some alliances, competitions, which is cool. I think that's really neat. If you can do alliances, I think having competition stuff. And it's a shame that they don't actually go into card acquisition improvements. This is literally the best thing that they could have had on these slides, and they're not telling us anything about it. Like, I don't know anything about it yet. So that's a little unfortunate. And so anyways, and as of recording, apparently there's been an issue with their actual stream, and their stream didn't happen, so they just, like, released the information. So if anything comes on stream and they clarify some of this stuff, or even, like, reveal what these new card mechanics were, we'll cover it on the Snapchat with Cozy. But regardless, interesting, disappointing at the same time. The draft mode being in concept and the new mode being the BUBs thing is kind of disappointing. I don't want to talk before I play the BUBs Diner, but you know what I mean. I don't want to be, like, kind of you know, Debbie Downer here, but at the same time, it's like, this is something, but it's not. I don't think it's the scope that people were hoping for. But c'est la vie, as they like to say. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on that next Marvel Snap video.